Hello, dear ones. My name is Patricia Ann Sullivan, but everyone calls me Patty. I'm 79 years old, and I'm about to confess something that will probably make you angry at me. Maybe you'll think I'm cruel. Maybe you'll think I'm brilliant. Maybe you'll think I'm just a bitter old woman. But before you judge me, let me tell you the whole story. 3 years ago, I faked having dementia. For 3 full years, I pretended to forget things, pretended to be confused, pretended to need help with the simplest tasks. I let my children believe their mother was losing her mind. Why? Because I needed to know the truth. I have 5 children. 5! I raised them by myself after their father died when the youngest was only 8 years old. I worked 2 jobs. I sacrificed everything, my youth, my dreams, my chance at love again, to give them good lives. And when I got older, when I started thinking about who would take care of me when I needed help, I realized something terrifying. I had no idea which of my children would actually be there for me. They all said they would. They all promised. "Don't worry, Mom, we'll take care of you." But words are cheap, aren't they? I needed to know who would actually show up. So I pretended to have dementia. And what I discovered over those 3 years, well, it changed everything. Pull up a chair, sweetheart. This is going to take a while. And bring tissues. You're going to need them. Let me start by telling you about my children. I need you to understand who they are before I tell you what happened. Robert Jr., my oldest, 54 years old, named after his father. He's a corporate lawyer in Manhattan. Big, fancy apartment, beautiful wife named Stephanie, who never liked me, 2 teenage kids I barely know. Robert sends me a Christmas card every year, always expensive, always impersonal. Margaret, 52 years old, we call her Meg. She's a real estate agent in Phoenix. Divorced twice, no kids. She calls me every Sunday like clockwork. 15 minutes on the phone. "How are you, Mom?" "Good." "Okay, gotta run." Same conversation for 20 years. David, 49 years old. He's a high school teacher in Portland, Oregon, married to a sweet woman named Linda, 3 kids. David was always my sensitive one, the one who wrote me poetry on Mother's Day, the one who cried at his father's funeral and never quite stopped grieving. Jennifer, 46 years old, my only daughter who gave me grandchildren I'm actually close to. She lives 40 minutes from me in New Jersey. She's a nurse, single mom of 2. She struggles financially, always has, but she has the biggest heart of anyone I know. Michael, 44 years old, my baby. Michael is complicated. He's had problems with alcohol, problems keeping jobs, problems with relationships. But when he's sober, he's the funniest, kindest person you'll ever meet. So those are my 5 children, 5 different people with 5 different lives. And 3 years ago, when I was 76 years old, I started wondering, if I really needed help, which one would step up? My friend Dorothy, same Dorothy from my last story, we've been friends for 50 years. She said I was being paranoid. "Patty, your kids love you. They'd all help." But I wasn't so sure, because I'd seen it happen to other women in my senior living community. They'd get sick, need help, and suddenly their devoted children were too busy, or going through something, or dealing with their own problems. I didn't want to wait until I was actually helpless to find out which of my children would abandon me. So I came up with a test. A terrible, manipulative, probably unforgivable test. I decided to fake dementia. It started small. Little things. In July 2021, Robert Jr. came to visit for the 4th. He brought Stephanie and the kids. We had dinner at my apartment. In the middle of the meal, I looked at Robert and said, "So, when did you get here?" He frowned. "Mom, we got here an hour ago. You let us in, remember?" "Oh, did I?" I smiled vaguely. "I'm sorry, dear. My memory isn't what it used to be." Stephanie and Robert exchanged a look, but they didn't say anything. They probably thought I was just having a senior moment. We all do at this age. 2 weeks later, I called Meg. When she answered, I said, "Hello? Who is this?" "Mom, it's Meg. You called me." "I did?" "Oh, well, what did I want?" I I don't know, Mom. You called me." "Hmm, I can't remember." "Well, goodbye then." I hung up and I waited. She called back 2 minutes later. "Mom, are you okay?" "Of course, dear. Why wouldn't I be?" You just, you seemed confused. Do you remember calling me?" "Did I call you?" "I don't think so, sweetheart." Another pause. "Okay, Mom. Well, I love you. Call me if you need anything." But she didn't come visit, didn't fly out from Phoenix to check on me. Just a concerned phone call, and that was it. With David, I did something different. He came to visit in August. He always visits in August for my birthday. We went out for lunch at our favorite diner, the one I'd been going to for 30 years. When we sat down, I looked around confused. "David, where are we?" "We're at Miller's Diner, Mom. We come here every year for your birthday." "We do? I don't remember this place." His face went pale. "Mom, we've been coming here since I moved to Portland 20 years. I looked at the menu like I'd never seen it before. It all looks so strange. I don't know what to order." "You always get the tuna melt and tomato soup. It's your favorite." "Is it?" I smiled at him, that vague smile I'd been practicing. "Well, if you say so, dear." David was quiet the rest of the meal. When he dropped me off at my apartment, he hugged me extra long. "Mom, if you're having memory problems, you need to see a doctor." "What memory problems?" I said innocently. He left looking worried, but he didn't stay. Didn't take me to a doctor, didn't move me in with him, just flew back to Portland and sent me concerned text messages for a week. With Jennifer, I didn't have to do much. She noticed on her own. She came over one Saturday in September to help me with some things around the apartment. At one point, she asked, "Mom, where do you keep the extra paper towels?" "In the bathroom closet," I said. "No, Mom, they're in the kitchen pantry. They've been there for 10 years. "Have they?" I could have sworn. I trailed off, looking confused. She gave me this look, half concern, half something else, like she was studying me. "Mom, have you been forgetting things?" "Have I?" I said vaguely. "Your Robert called me last week. He said you didn't remember him visiting. And David said you didn't recognize Miller's Diner." "Did I? I don't remember that." Jennifer sat down heavily on my couch. "Mom, I think you need to see a neurologist. These could be signs of dementia." "Dementia?" I said the word like it was foreign. "Oh my, that's what happened to your Aunt Louise, isn't it?" "Yes." Jennifer took my hand, and we caught it early with her, and she got good treatment. We can do the same for you. Will you let me make you an appointment?" Here's where I should have stopped. Here's where I should have said, "Just kidding, I'm fine. This was all a test." But I didn't, because I wanted to see what would happen. I wanted to see who would step up. "If you think it's necessary, dear," I said softly. So Jennifer made me an appointment with a neurologist. Here's the thing about faking dementia. You have to be convincing. You can't just say, I forgot, and expect doctors to believe you. You have to fail the right tests, make the right mistakes, be consistent in your inconsistencies. I did research. I joined online support groups for dementia caregivers, pretending to be a concerned daughter, and I learned exactly what early stage dementia looks like. The specific memory problems, the confusion, the sundowning, the personality changes. And then I went to that neurologist appointment, and I performed. The doctor did a cognitive test, asked me to remember 3 words, draw a clock, name objects in pictures. I deliberately got some wrong. Not all, that would be too obvious, just enough to be concerning. Mrs. Sullivan, I'm going to say 3 words, and I want you to remember them. Can you do that? I'll try, dear. The words are apple, table, penny. Can you repeat those back to me? Apple, table, penny. Good. Now, I'm going to ask you some other questions, and then I'll ask you to recall those 3 words again, okay? Okay. We did other tests. Then, Mrs. Sullivan, can you tell me those 3 words from earlier? I paused, looked confused. Apple and table? No, wait. Was it chair? I'm sorry. I can't remember the third one. The doctor made a note. Jennifer, sitting next to me, squeezed my hand. More tests. Drawing a clock. I made the numbers slightly wrong. Naming the current president. I pretended to struggle. Counting backwards from 100 by sevens. I forgot after 3 numbers. At the end, the doctor said, Mrs. Sullivan, I'd like to do some brain imaging, an MRI, just to rule out anything structural. But based on these tests, I am seeing some cognitive decline consistent with early stage dementia. Jennifer started crying. Is there medication? Treatment? There are medications that can slow the progression, but Mrs. Sullivan, I need to ask, do you have someone who can help you? Someone who can make sure you're taking medication, help with daily tasks? I'm sure my children will help me, I said vaguely. The doctor looked at Jennifer. Are you able to help your mother? Yes, of course. I'll do whatever she needs. And that's how it started. That's how my lie became real. Jennifer told her siblings about my diagnosis. I listened in on the phone calls, something I could do now that I was confused about when it was appropriate to be on the line. Robert Jr.'s response was, Jesus, okay. Well, keep me updated. I'll try to visit when I can, but you know how crazy work is. Maybe Christmas. He didn't visit at Christmas. He sent a check for $500 with a note, for any medical expenses. Sorry I can't be there. Margaret's response was, oh my God, poor mom. This is just awful. I'm going to call her more often, I promise. She did call more often for about 2 months. Then it went back to the Sunday calls, 15 minutes each. David's response? He cried. I could hear him crying over the phone. I knew something was wrong. I should have insisted she see a doctor when I was there in August. This is my fault. David, it's not your fault. You should have done more. You should have. I'm going to come out there. I'm going to help. He did come out, visited for a week in November, but Linda couldn't come, work obligations. And the kids had school, so it was just David sitting in my apartment, watching me pretend to forget things, trying not to cry.
Mom, do you remember when I was little and you used to sing me that song about the mockingbird? Did I? I smiled vaguely. Yeah, every night. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. You'd sing until I fell asleep.
That sounds lovely, dear. He broke down then, full on sobbing. You don't remember? You don't remember any of it? I should have stopped then. I should have told him the truth, but I didn't. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Maybe if you sing it, I'll remember. He sang it, voice breaking, and I pretended to slowly recall. Oh, yes, I think I remember. It was cruel. I know it was cruel, but I needed to see who would stay, not who would visit for a week and cry and then go back to their lives. Michael's response? Silence. He didn't call Jennifer back for 3 days. When he finally did, he said, I can't deal with this right now. I'm barely keeping my own shit together. Michael, Mom needs us. I know she does. But I just can't be responsible for another person right now. I'm sorry. Jennifer was furious. I could hear it in her voice. So you're just abandoning her? I'm not abandoning her. Look, you live closest. You're a nurse. You're better equipped to handle this. I'll send money when I can. He never sent money. So after all the phone calls, after all the promises and apologies and good intentions, here's who actually showed up. Jennifer. Just Jennifer. In the second year of my dementia, things got harder. I had to escalate, make more mistakes, need more help. I started forgetting to pay bills. Jennifer had to take over my finances. I started getting confused about medication. Jennifer had to come over every morning before her shift at the hospital to make sure I took my pills. I started wandering. I'd go for walks and then call Jennifer crying, saying I didn't know where I was. She'd leave work, leave her patients, to come find me 3 blocks away, standing outside the grocery store I'd been shopping at for 40 years. And I watched what it did to her. Jennifer is a single mom. She has 2 kids, Emma, 16, and Jack, 14. She works 12-hour shifts at the hospital. She's always struggled with money. But she added me to her already impossible schedule. She'd wake up at 5 a.m., drive to my apartment, help me get dressed. I started pretending I couldn't figure out buttons, make sure I ate breakfast, set out my medication. Then she'd drive to the hospital for her shift. During her lunch break, she'd call to check on me. After her shift, she'd come back to my apartment, make me dinner, help me get ready for bed. Then she'd drive home to her own kids, who she barely saw anymore. I watched her lose weight, watched the circles under her eyes get darker, watched her stop wearing makeup, stop styling her hair, stop having time for anything except work and taking care of me. One night, I woke up confused and called her at 2 a.m. Mom, what's wrong? Where am I? I don't know where I am. You're in your apartment, Mom. You're safe. You're in your bed. I don't understand. I don't recognize this place. She drove over at 2 a.m., found me sitting in bed, perfectly fine, sat with me until I calmed down and remembered where I was. Mom, this is getting worse, she said, exhausted. We might need to think about memory care, a facility where you'd have 24-hour supervision. But I want to stay in my home, I said, playing the confused old woman. Please don't send me away. I'm not sending you away. Look,
You live closest. You're a nurse. You're better equipped to handle this. I'll send money when I can." He never sent money. So after all the phone calls, after all the promises and apologies and good intentions, here's who actually showed up: Jennifer. Just Jennifer. It happened in month 23 of my deception, February 2024. Jennifer called a family meeting, made all 4 of her siblings get on a Zoom call. I pretended to nap in my bedroom while she sat in my living room with her laptop, but I could hear everything. Jennifer said, "I can't do this alone anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm broke. I'm failing my kids. And none of you are helping." "I send money," Robert Jr. defended himself. "You sent 1 check 2 years ago. That's it. You haven't visited once, not once in 2 years. My firm is going through a big merger." "I don't care about your merger, Robert. Our mother has dementia, and you can't take 1 weekend to visit her?" Silence. Margaret spoke up. "Jennifer, I know this is hard." Do you? Do you know how hard this is, Meg? Because you call for 15 minutes once a week. You haven't visited in a year. Mom doesn't even remember who you are anymore when you call." That was true. I'd been pretending to not recognize Margaret's voice, asking, "Who is this?" every time she called. I can't just leave my business. I have clients. We all have lives, Margaret. I have a job. I have kids. But I'm here every day because someone has to be. David's voice, quiet. "Jennifer, I'm sorry. I know I haven't been. You visited twice in 2 years, and both times you stayed for 3 days and then went home. That's not helping. That's tourism. That's not fair."
Isn't it? Do you know what I've given up? I had to quit the evening classes I was taking to get my BSN. I had to turn down a promotion because I can't work extra shifts anymore. My daughter asked me to come to her school play last month, and I couldn't go because I was taking care of Mom. She was crying now, full on sobbing. I love her. I love Mom so much, but I can't keep being the only one. I can't. I'm drowning. Michael spoke for the first time. "So, what do you want us to do?" "I want you to help. I want someone, anyone, to step up. Come stay with her for a week. Take over her medications. Sit with her when she's confused. Give me 1 weekend where I'm not responsible for another human being." Silence. Long, horrible silence. Then Robert Jr. "I'll look at my calendar. Maybe I can come out in April? Maybe?" I said I'll try. No, no more I'll try. No more I'll look at my calendar. Either you commit to helping or you admit you don't care. More silence. Then Margaret. "Margaret, you're being really unfair right now." "Am I? Am I really? Because from where I'm sitting, I'm the only one who's been fair to Mom. I'm the only one who shows up, the only one who sacrifices, the only one who actually loves her enough to be here." David. "That's not true. We all love Mom." "Then where are you?" Jennifer screamed. "Where have you been for 2 years? Because love isn't phone calls and Christmas cards and good intentions. Love is showing up. Love is changing adult diapers and dealing with 2 a.m. panic attacks and watching your mother forget your name. That's love, and I'm the only one doing it." I was crying in my bedroom, silently crying, listening to my daughter break. The call ended badly. Robert Jr. logged off mid-sentence. Margaret said something about Jennifer being hysterical and hung up. David promised he'd come visit next month. He didn't. Michael said nothing at all. And Jennifer sat in my living room and sobbed like I'd never heard her sob before. I almost told her the truth that night.
almost got up, walked into that living room, and confessed everything. But I didn't, because I needed to know. Had she learned this loyalty from me? Was I proud of her? Or had I created a martyr who would sacrifice herself for people who didn't deserve it? 2 weeks after that Zoom call, I made a decision. It was time to end the experiment. Not because I'd learned what I needed to learn. I'd learned that a year ago, Jennifer would sacrifice everything. The others would sacrifice nothing. But because I couldn't watch my daughter destroy herself anymore. Not for me, not for a lie. So on March 15th, 2024, exactly 3 years after I'd started faking dementia, I decided to reveal the truth. But I needed to do it carefully. I needed to make it count. I called a family meeting, told Jennifer to get everyone on Zoom again. I have something important to say, I told her. I think I'm dying. I want to see all my children one last time. She was terrified. Mom, are you feeling sick? Should we go to the hospital? No, dear. I can feel it. The end is coming. Please, get your brothers and sister on a call tomorrow. I need to say goodbye. So the next day, all 5 of them logged onto Zoom. Robert from his Manhattan office, Margaret from a real estate showing, David from his classroom during lunch, Michael from what looked like a friend's couch, and Jennifer, sitting right next to me in my living room. They all looked concerned, waiting for me to say my final words. Instead, I looked directly at the camera and said, in a perfectly clear, perfectly lucid voice, "Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I need to tell you all something important. I don't have dementia. I never did. For the past 3 years, I've been faking it. It was a test to see which of you would actually take care of me if I needed help. And now I'm going to tell you what I learned. You should have seen their faces. The silence after my announcement lasted maybe 10 seconds. Then all hell broke loose. What? Robert Jr.'s face turned purple. You faked it for 3 years? Mom, what the hell? Margaret looked like she'd been slapped. David just stared, his face completely blank. Michael laughed. Actually laughed. Holy shit, that's insane. That's genuinely insane. But I wasn't looking at any of them. I was looking at Jennifer. Her face was white. Her hands were shaking. She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. Let me finish, I said calmly. I'm going to explain, and you're all going to listen. And then you can yell at me all you want. Mom, I don't think, Robert started. I said, listen. My voice was sharp, the voice I'd used when they were children and they'd done something dangerous. They all went quiet. 3 years ago, I started wondering what would happen to me when I got old, really old. Old enough that I needed help. I have 5 children, 5. And I thought surely at least one of you would step up, would take care of me the way I took care of all of you. I looked at each of them. Robert, I raised you alone after your father died. You were 14. You were angry and rebellious, and you hated me for 2 years because I had to work and couldn't come to your baseball games. But I kept you fed, kept you clothed, got you into Cornell. And then 3 years, you visited me 0 times. You sent 1 check, you called maybe 6 times. That's what I'm worth you. $500 and 6 phone calls? Robert's jaw was clenched. I have a demanding career. Everyone has demanding careers, Robert. That's not an excuse, that's a choice. You chose work over your mother. Own it. I turned to Margaret. Meg, when you got divorced the first time, you moved in with me for 8 months. I listened to you cry every night. I helped you rebuild your confidence, helped you get your real estate license. And in 3 years, you've called me every Sunday for 15 minutes. Literally set a timer. I heard it go off once when you forgot to mute yourself. 15 minutes is what I'm worth to you. Margaret's eyes were full of tears. Mom, I'm not done. David, my sensitive boy, you visit twice a year, stay for 3 days, you cry, you tell me you love me, and then you go home and live your life and don't think about me until the next visit. You love the idea of being a good son, but you don't actually want to do the work of being one. David's face crumpled. That's not fair. And Michael, I looked at my youngest. You've been a disappointment your entire adult life. Addiction, failed relationships, no job stability. And when I got sick, you couldn't even pretend to care. You straight up said, I can't deal with this. At least you were honest. Michael wasn't laughing anymore. Then I turned to Jennifer. And you, my Jennifer, my baby girl who became a single mother at 25 and never once asked me for help, even though you were drowning. My daughter who works herself to the bone and still can't get ahead. My daughter who, when I got sick, didn't hesitate, didn't make excuses, just showed up every single day. Jennifer was crying now, silent tears running down her face. For 3 years, I watched you sacrifice everything for me. Your education, your promotion, your time with your kids, your sleep, your health, everything. You gave up everything to take care of me. Because I love you, she whispered. I know you do. And that's what broke my heart. Because you were the only one. I looked at the camera, at all of them.
So here's what's going to happen now. I'm leaving everything to Jennifer. The apartment, the savings, the life insurance, all of it. She's the only one who earned it. The only one who proved that she actually loves me, not just the idea of me.
Robert exploded. You can't do that. That's not fair. We're your children too.
Fair?
Fair? You want to talk about fair, Robert? Is it fair that Jennifer has been taking care of me alone for 3 years while you 4 lived your comfortable lives? Is that fair? We didn't know it was fake, Margaret shouted. If you'd known I was faking, you would have done exactly what you did, which was nothing. Because it wasn't about whether I had dementia or not. It was about whether you cared enough to show up when things got hard. And you didn't. None of you did. Except Jennifer. David was crying now too. Mom, please, I'm sorry. I should have done more. I know I should have. Yes, you should have. All of you should have. But you didn't. And now you have to live with that. After I finished my speech, there was chaos. Robert threatened to sue, Margaret called me cruel, David begged for forgiveness, Michael hung up without a word. But Jennifer just sat there next to me, crying. When everyone else had logged off or been kicked off, it was just the 2 of us in my living room.
Why?
She finally asked. Why did you do this? I needed to know. I needed to know if any of you would actually be there when I needed you. You could have just asked. People lie, Jennifer. People say what you want to hear. I needed to see the truth. But 3 years, Mom. 3 years of my life. 3 years of watching you deteriorate. 3 years of grief. Do you know what that did to me? I know. I saw it. Every day I saw what it cost you. Then why didn't you stop? And this is the part I'm most ashamed of. Because I needed to see if you'd break. I needed to see if there was a limit to your loyalty. If there was a point where you'd give up and walk away like everyone else did. She stared at me. You were testing me? Yes. To see if I'd abandon you? Yes. And what did you learn? That you would never abandon me. That you would sacrifice yourself completely before you'd let me suffer alone. She stood up. I need to leave. Jennifer, No, I need to leave right now, before I say something I can't take back. She grabbed her coat and walked to the door. Then she turned back. You know what the worst part is, Mom? I would have done it anyway, even if I'd known it was fake, even if you just asked me to, because I love you, because I'm your daughter, because that's what we do for the people we love. We show up, we sacrifice, we care. I know, but now her voice broke. Now I don't know if I can forgive you. You didn't just lie to me. You let me grieve you for 3 years. You let me watch you die slowly. You let me blame myself for not being able to stop it. That's not a test, Mom. That's cruelty. And she left. It's been 6 months since I revealed the truth. 6 months since I destroyed my relationship with my children. Robert hasn't spoken to me since. He sent one email through his lawyer threatening legal action if I try to change my will to exclude him. I haven't responded. Margaret called once, 3 months ago. She said, I'm going to therapy now. My therapist says I have approval-seeking behaviors because I always felt like I wasn't good enough for you. She's probably right. Goodbye, Mom. David visits once a month. He doesn't stay at my apartment anymore. He stays at a hotel. We have lunch. He asks how I'm doing. I ask about his family. It's polite, distant, like we're acquaintances, not mother and son. Michael surprised me. He called 2 weeks after the revelation, said, You know what, Mom? Fair play. You caught us all being shitty kids. I respect the hustle. We talk sometimes now, more than we did before. I think my honesty about his failures somehow freed him to be honest with me. But Jennifer is the one who haunts me. She didn't speak to me for 4 months. Wouldn't answer calls, wouldn't respond to texts. I sent letters, sent flowers, sent Emma and Jack with messages. Nothing. Finally, 2 months ago, she showed up at my apartment. I'm here, she said, because I need you to understand something. Okay. You were right about my siblings. They didn't show up. They didn't care enough to sacrifice for you. You were right about all of that. I know, but you were wrong about me. What do you mean? You thought I was sacrificing myself, that I was being a martyr, that I might break under the pressure and abandon you like everyone else did. Yes, but that's not what was happening, Mom. I wasn't sacrificing myself. I was living my values. I was being the person I want to be, the person you taught me to be. Someone who shows up for the people they love, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. I started crying. And by testing me, by lying to me, you took something beautiful and made it ugly. You made it about passing or failing your test instead of about love. You made my greatest strength feel like a weakness, like something you had to test instead of something you could trust. I'm sorry, I whispered.
I know you are, and I'm going to forgive you. Eventually. Because that's what I do. I show up, I forgive. I love people even when they hurt me. But it's going to take time, a lot of time. I understand. She turned to leave, then stopped. And Mom, I'm not doing this for the inheritance. You can give the apartment to charity for all I care. I did it because I love you. I'll always love you. But I need you to understand, love isn't something you test. It's something you trust. And you broke that trust. Now it's September 2024. I'm 79 years old, and I've spent 6 months thinking about what I did, whether it was right or wrong, whether I'd do it again. Here's what I know. I was right about my children. Robert, Margaret, David, and Michael did not show up when I needed them. They made excuses. They prioritized their own lives. They proved that their love for me had limits. That was the truth. I didn't create it. I just exposed it. I was wrong about how I exposed it. 3 years was too long. The deception was too cruel. I could have faked it for 6 months, 3 months, even 1 month would have shown me the truth. But I kept going because I was angry. Angry that I'd sacrificed everything for these children and they couldn't be bothered to sacrifice anything for me. I was wrong about Jennifer. I thought I was testing her strength, but what I was really doing was punishing her for being strong, for being the good child, for doing what the others wouldn't do. That wasn't fair. She deserved better. But I was right about one thing. You don't really know who loves you until times get hard, until someone has to sacrifice for you, until love costs something. And most people, when love costs something, walk away. If I could do it over again, here's what I'd do differently. I'd fake it for 1 month, just 1 month, long enough to see who calls, who visits, who steps up. Then I'd reveal the truth. I'd tell Jennifer first, before the others. Give her the chance to be angry without an audience. And I'd tell all of them this. I was wrong to test you, but you were wrong to fail the test. And now we all have to live with what we learned about each other. You're probably wondering why I'm sharing this, why I'd publicly admit to doing something so manipulative, so cruel, so unforgivable. Because I want you to learn from my mistake. If you're a parent, here's what I need you to hear. Don't wait until you're old and sick to find out which of your children will actually take care of you. Have honest conversations now. Not guilt trips, not manipulation, just honesty. Say, I'm getting older. At some point, I'm going to need help. I need to know if you're willing and able to provide that help. And if you're not, I need to plan accordingly. No judgment, just truth. Some of your children will say yes and mean it. Some will say yes and not mean it. Some will say no. At least if they say no, you know where you stand. Don't sacrifice everything for your children expecting they'll sacrifice everything for you. That's not how it works. You sacrifice for them because they're your children, because you brought them into this world, because that's what parents do. But they don't owe you their lives in return. They owe you respect, love, care, but not martyrdom. Don't make your children prove their love. Love isn't a test. It's a gift. Some people give it freely. Some people are stingy with it. Some people don't know how to give it at all. Testing them won't change who they are. It'll just hurt everyone involved. And if you're an adult child with aging parents, here's what I need you to hear. Your parents aren't going to be here forever. I know you're busy. I know you have careers and kids and lives. I know it's hard to find time. But one day, they'll be gone. And you'll have to live with how much time you gave them. Showing up matters more than you think. Jennifer showed up every day. Her siblings sent checks and made phone calls. Guess which one I actually remember? Guess which one made me feel loved? But also set boundaries. Jennifer sacrificed too much. She gave up her education, her promotion, her time with her kids. That wasn't healthy. You can love your parents without destroying yourself. The right answer is somewhere in the middle. Show up, be present, help, but also protect yourself. Don't be Robert, who showed up 0 times.
But don't be Jennifer, who showed up at the cost of everything else. And finally, have the hard conversations. If you can't help, say so. If you're overwhelmed, say so. If you need your siblings to step up, say so. Don't wait until you break. Don't wait until you hate everyone. Last week, Jennifer came over for dinner. She brought Emma and Jack, my grandchildren who I barely saw during those 3 years because Jennifer was too busy taking care of me. We ate spaghetti. We talked about Emma's college applications. We talked about Jack's soccer team. We didn't talk about the 3 years. We didn't talk about the test. We didn't talk about what I did. But at the end of the night, when Jennifer was getting ready to leave, she hugged me. It wasn't a long hug. It wasn't a warm hug, but it was a hug. "I'm still angry," she said. "I know. But I'm trying. I'm trying to forgive you. That's all I can ask." "No," she said, pulling back to look at me. "It's not all you can ask. You can ask me to be honest with you. So here's the honest truth. I will never trust you the same way again. What you did broke something between us. Maybe we can build something new, but we can't go back to what we had." "I understand." "Good. Because I need you to understand that. I need you to live with that, the way I had to live with 3 years of grief." She left, and I sat in my apartment alone, thinking about what I'd gained and what I'd lost. I gained the truth. I know now which of my children would show up and which wouldn't. I know that Jennifer loves me more than the others do. I know that Robert values his career more than his mother. I know that Margaret calls out of obligation, not love. I know that David cries, but doesn't act. I know that Michael is honest about his limitations. But I lost trust. I lost closeness. I lost the daughter who would have walked through fire for me because I made her walk through fire for no reason. Was it worth it? I don't know. Ask me in 10 years when I'm actually dying, when I really do have dementia or cancer or heart failure, when I really do need help. Will Jennifer show up then? Or will she remember the 3 years I made her grieve a living mother while I was still alive and decide she's already done her time? I guess I'll find out. That's the real test, isn't it? Not the one I created, but the one life will create for me. I've written a letter, a real one this time. No tests, no deceptions, just the truth. I'm leaving it with my attorney to be opened after I die. Here's what it says. Dear Robert, Margaret, David, Michael, and Jennifer, if you're reading this, I'm gone. Really gone this time. I want to start by apologizing to all of you, but especially to Jennifer. What I did was cruel. I've spent the last few years of my life trying to justify it, but I can't. There's no justification for making someone grieve you while you're still alive. But I also want you to understand something. I was terrified of dying alone, terrified of being forgotten, terrified of finding out that I'd spent my whole life loving you more than you loved me. That fear made me do something terrible. And I'm sorry. Robert, you were right to be angry at me. I put you in an impossible position. But I also want you to know, I'm proud of you. You built an incredible career. You provided for your family. You didn't abandon them the way your father's death forced me to prioritize survival over presence. You gave your kids what I couldn't give you, stability. That matters. Margaret, I know you tried. I know those Sunday phone calls were your way of staying connected, even when you were overwhelmed with your own life. I should have appreciated that more. I should have told you that consistency matters, even if it's only 15 minutes. David, my sensitive boy, You feel everything so deeply that it paralyzes you sometimes. I understand that now. I'm sorry I made you feel like your tears weren't enough. Sometimes love looks like crying and not knowing what to do. That's okay. Michael, you were the most honest of all of them. You told the truth. You couldn't handle another responsibility. There's honor in that honesty, even if it hurt to hear. I'm proud that you found sobriety. I'm proud that you're rebuilding. Keep going. Jennifer, my fighter, my martyr, my daughter who inherited both my strength and my stubbornness. I'm leaving you everything because you earned it. But more than that, I'm leaving you with permission to stop sacrificing yourself for people who don't appreciate it. You don't have to prove your love anymore. Not to me, not to anyone. I love all of you, even though I tested you, even though I hurt you, even though some of you failed my test and some of you passed it at great cost. You're all my children. You all came from my body, my love, my sacrifice. And that's enough. Take care of each other, or don't. That's up to you now. But remember, life is short. Family is complicated. And love, real love, is both stronger and more fragile than you think. Don't test it. Trust it. I'm sorry I didn't. With all my love, Mom. I'm 79 years old. I faked dementia for 3 years. I destroyed relationships with my children to prove a point. Was I right? Was I wrong? I honestly don't know anymore. But here's what I do know. Family is messy. There are no perfect children. There are no perfect parents. We all hurt each other. We all disappoint each other. We all love each other imperfectly. Love is complicated. Some people show love by showing up every day. Some people show love by calling every Sunday. Some people show love by sending checks. Some people don't know how to show love at all. None of these are inherently right or wrong. They're just different. Tests break things. When you test someone's love, you're telling them you don't trust it. And once you've communicated that lack of trust, it's almost impossible to get it back. But honesty heals things. If I'd just been honest, if I'd said, I'm scared of being alone when I get old and I need to know you'll be there, maybe my children would have responded differently. Maybe we could have had a real conversation instead of a 3-year deception. And finally, it's not too late. Not for me, not for you, not for anyone who's still alive and still has people to love. If you've hurt someone, apologize. Really apologize. Not, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm sorry I did that. It was wrong. I understand why you're hurt. If someone has hurt you, consider forgiveness, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. If you have aging parents, call them, visit them, let them know they matter before it's too late, before they're so desperate for proof of your love that they resort to testing it. And if you have children, love them without conditions. Love them without expectations. Love them knowing that they might not love you back the same way. And let that be okay. Because in the end, we're all just people trying to love each other and failing and trying again. That's all family is. Imperfect people loving each other imperfectly. And sometimes that's enough. If this story made you think, hit that like button. If you have complicated feelings about your own parents or children, share your story in the comments. I read every one, and I'd love to hear from you. And if you want more honest, messy, complicated stories about family and love and the mistakes we make, subscribe and turn on notifications. Thank you for listening to An Old Woman's Confession. Thank you for not judging me too harshly. Or if you are judging me, thank you for that too. I probably deserve it. Take care of each other, dear ones. And remember, don't test love. Trust it. Or you might end up like me, 79 years old, alone in an apartment, wondering if the truth you discovered was worth the relationships you destroyed to find it. With love and regret.